Hi all, welcome to the final whistle. It's another one then of the EFL Championship Forum. I'll be joined by Football Martin, a regular guest on the show, and we'll be talking about the championship from the weekend. We're going to go through all the results, and we're going to see what happened. Obviously, Leicester again leaving it late on as they went top of the championship at the weekend. Birmingham City beating Plymouth. Norwich City, again, looking good. 4 more goals for them at the weekend. Then we had Hull City, Bristol City, the Battle of the Cities on a Friday night. Cardiff, 98th minute winner against Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, it's a bit of a chance here. We out at Sheffield Wednesday. We're going to talk to Martin about everything as we talk about everything in the championship. Just give me a second. There we go. We're back. Let me just move that around like that. Yeah, we are. We're good. Let's get the evenings in then first. Being busy on Roadblocks every day. Hello, Pal. How are you? Roadblocks. It was a decent building game when we were kids. Reedy, how are you? Are you good? Martin's in. Best show for Leicester City fan. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, mate. Hello, Callum. How are you, mate? Hello, Mike, my friend. What you saying, pal? My forecast for Tranmere away tomorrow night. I reckon we'll make it 6 or 7 changes. I'm going for a 3-0 win. Is Kelechi playing tomorrow? Well, Wolves are interested in Iheanacho. It's one that we're obviously going to have to look out for this transfer window, as there's not many days left. Evening, Terry May, how are you? I have got the camera on the broadcast light tonight, guys. I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible, the bloody camera. Just hoping it don't fall down, and you know how it is. But we've gone with the EFL Championship form tonight. I'm sorry, they won't be a preview tonight for Leicester travelling to Tranmere. If we do one, of course, it will be on there, but it'll be pre-recorded. So we are looking to see if we can get one sorted. But if not, then we'll just have to go with the match day vlog and then do the match review. But yes, a lot of content has been done over the last weekend and all that. A lot of hard work goes into the channel to give you guys as much content as possible. Obviously, including the recent one of Wilfred Ndidi to Nottingham Forest. Evening, mate. Evening, all. Guys, if you enjoyed the stream tonight, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the Final Whistle, please hit the subscribe button. We've just passed 2,000 subscribers. So we've got to our milestone. Our next milestone will be 3K. So let's keep pushing, keep growing the channel. And you guys keep getting involved week in, week out, man. We enjoy the support. And let's get the EFL Championship form underway then. Let's get my guest in, Mr. Football Martin. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Really good for a win the weekend. Really delighted Southampton got a win. We needed to get something under difficult circumstances, which no doubt we'll talk about at some stage in this show.
Yes, I'm sure. I hope Atgon and other wingers from the Portuguese, Jack, can't fault you. Yeah, appreciate that, mate. Martin, welcome to the EFL Championship Forum. You was on last week. How you been?
Love it. Yeah, good. Congratulations on your 2,000 subscribers. Brilliant work, mate. For a channel that's fairly new, you've done amazing. So congratulations.
No, appreciate that, mate. Martin, give a shout out to your channel, mate. Let everyone know what you do on Football Martin.
Yeah, Football Martin on TikTok mostly at the moment. So give me a follow on TikTok. Just started doing a bit on YouTube as well. Also on Twitter as well. So you can follow me on all 3 platforms. Instagram. Get loads of nice photos and stuff on there. But yeah, content's coming daily on TikTok at the moment. It's a great platform for uploading really, really good content. The filters are brilliant. So it's brilliant to play around with it. You can edit it easy. So give us a follow, please, if you can.
Yeah, appreciate that. Martin, let's get on to the weekend's results then. We're going to start at the KCOM Stadium, Martin. A 1-1 draw between the two sides. Obviously, Hull was on a bit of a run, wasn't they? Beating Blackburn and beating Sheffield Wednesday. 2 wins out of 3 games with Hull going into this one. They faced the Bristol City side who, yeah, they've been a bit on and off, haven't they, Martin? Bristol City going into that one, beating Millwall, losing to Birmingham, drawing to Preston. Yeah, they've done it all, win, lose and draw, Bristol City. And going into this game against the Hull side, who are really playing some good stuff under Liam Rossignol. A draw, you could say was a fair result between the two sides, to be fair on this one. Nigel Pearson, you could call it the Nigel Pearson derby, if that's what you want to call it. Managed both sides. It was always going to be an interesting game, this one. I thought there'd be more goals in it, but I went for 2-1 in this one, but it ended at 1-1. So, Martin, what did you make of Hull v Bristol City then in the draw, mate?
Yeah, it was a interesting result, really. I didn't get to see the game because I was working, so I didn't see all of this one. I've seen the highlights of the game though, but like for Hull, like you said, they've been playing some great stuff this season. The fans that we've been chatting to, sort of like on our lives and the TikToks in the evenings, everybody has spoken pretty highly of Hull this season. Bristol City had not had a great result the week before, so it was. I think they were probably happy to go there and get a point. It'd probably be a better result for Bristol City than Hull. Probably think you would agree with that. Liam Delat, obviously on loan at Hull City as well. It's not really got going. I think he scored the one so far, so he's not really got going yet, but he will do. He's still young, isn't he? But he's a good signing for them.
Yeah, Hull have had a decent window, haven't they, Martin? They're still obviously bringing players in. Bristol City are still yet to replace Alex Scott. It's been an interesting start for both sides. Do you know what I mean? It's Bristol City would obviously want the start Hull have had so far, but it's been a quite close affairs, hasn't it, in the game between the two sides? I think a point would have been a fair result.
Yeah, point fair result. If looking at like the possession stats afterwards, they said that Hull had a lot of the ball. And sort of possession stats are sort of 61% of the ball compared to the 38 at Bristol City. Like chances wise, it was pretty evens, to be fair, mate. Like it's like we say, like for Hull, they would have probably wanted to get a result in this one because, like you said, they've started quite well. They might be a bit disappointed, to be honest, but onwards and upwards. And I'm not sure who they got this weekend. Hull. Where do they travel to? They're away.
They've got Leicester. They've got Leicester.
You got Leicester. They play you. So that's a real big test for them to play you. Is it at the King Power?
Yeah, King Power Stadium. I'm not sure.
It's a big test for them to play a side that have just got relegated, that have started like a steam train. It'd be a hell of a test for them. They won't want to be playing you this weekend. That's for sure.
I think with Hull, though, it's the case that they want to finish as high as possible. Obviously, Tufan, is it Tufan? He's doing quite well, isn't he? The Turkish international. He's pulling the strings around the Hull City midfield and that. He's doing really well there. Hull they're a possession-based side, but it's what you do with a ball, isn't it, Martin? When you've got to create enough chances and score quite a few goals.
Yeah, it's like Saints are very much. There's a lot of teams that want to play this Pep Guardiola style football, don't they? Where they keep possession of the ball and they don't give it away. Sometimes you have a lot of possession, you don't go anywhere with it. You can almost end up in the corner flag, sort of attacking the opposition's goal, and you can end up right back to your centre backs at some stage, even the goalkeeper. It's just what you do with it and creating chances. I think like the top sides like Leicester and Southampton, just maybe create that bit more at the moment because they just have that little bit better player within the squad, just something with a bit more of a spark about them.
I agree. Martin, we're going to go on to a team who actually has got spark in this one, and Birmingham City, Martin. I mean, they've really fancied the chances at the start of this season. They've had a good start, beating Leeds at home, beating now Plymouth at home, beat Bristol City on their last away travels. Birmingham have had a great start to the season. I believe they've got 10 points out of the first 4 games. So they've really started off brightly. They played a Plymouth side who picked up a point at Watford, 3 points against Huddersfield, lost narrowly to Southampton. Plymouth were always going to make it difficult, weren't they, for Birmingham. It was never going to be an easy game. I think Plymouth, like I say, Whittaker's going to make the differences this season for them, the front three as well. But Birmingham at home, they have that slight advantage, don't they? They've always got to pick themselves up quite early, take it on. And they did score. Was it pretty late on, Birmingham, in this one, Martin? They did nick it late on.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're up to third, mate. They've not lost the game yet, neither. So they've started really, really well. They've drawn one. So out of the first four, yeah, they've won three. Yeah, they've won their first three games. So brilliant start for them, mate. They're doing really, really well. Like you said, they've got 10 points, up to third in the championship. We haven't really spoken about Birmingham as a side that we thought that were going to be challenging or in this position right now, but they got a good striker in this boy Yoshai. Is it the fellow up front? He's quite lively. He come off the bench last week and looked really, really good for them, and he was lively the weekend. But they'd be delighted with the start of the season they've had. It was just started like we said, like a bit of a steam train, like you guys. And that's what you want, isn't it? Confident. We spoke on the show last week about confidence and how important confidence is within a side. And that's certainly what they've got. Yeah, 90 plus 5, that goal. Stansfield, I think he's on loan from Fulham, the boy. So, great start for his loan. Big confidence as well. Yeah, but 90 plus 5 to snatch it as well. And Plymouth thought they were probably going to be getting a draw, but Plymouth are a hard side for anyone to play against, aren't they? They're a real tough side. I
think they've really made it tough for these teams. Obviously, they've had that momentum and they're coming up. But John Eustace's side, he's got them well drugged this season, Anthony Martin, John Eustace. Yeah. I spoke to my mate who's a Blues fan at the weekend. He's ecstatic with the start. He said they brought in some good business. Last season there was, you'd think of them as a mid-table club or struggling quite near the bottom where there was last season, Birmingham. They'd find hard points to come by. But this season they're really starting off brightly and they're playing their football really well. And like I say, they beat a tough Plymouth side who like to defend and attack. And they got the 3 points. And like you say, they climb up to, is it third place?
Yeah, they're up to third now. So they're flying. And, let's have a look at where they play this weekend as well, because they're going to come under pressure. They've got to play, the relegated sides yet, like obviously Leicester, Southampton. There's tough games to come. There'll be tough games to come. It's a long year, isn't it? In this division, it's a long season, and it's just like how you pace yourself now, really. But to have 10 points on the board, like after the 4 games, like they'll be delighted as a side, and if they can go into the international break in good shape, they'll be super, super happy. That's the key in it. They got a cup game tomorrow night. They're playing Cardiff City, so you think they'll make a few changes. Then at the weekend they're at home to Millwall, so another tough game against Millwall. But you've got great fan base, haven't they? Fans get behind them there, so the Hawthorn. So so it's a tough place.
You mean St Andrews, Martin, not the Hawthorns.
St Andrews, indeed.
We'll cut that bit out. No, we can't say that, Martin.
Yeah, I'll get absolutely moved.
You've had a blooper already, mate. They're going to reach you in the comments. Birmingham fans ain't going to be happy without saying they played the Hawthorns. Martin, the next one, we're going to go to the Cardiff City Stadium. Errol's doing well, isn't he? Errol Bullet. At Cardiff, they're playing some good football. They've really responded from that Leicester defeat well, haven't they? Cardiff played some good football. Aaron Ramsey's key again. Ugbo again doing well.
Another late goal though.
Another late goal. Is it 98th minute winner, Martin? A penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not when you want to give penalties away at that start of the game. To start off with, but Sheffield Wednesday again. Yeah, I think they're the only team in the EFL to not pick up a point, Martin, in the first 4 games.
Yeah, I don't think they have a point on the board yet. They've had a horrific start, haven't they? 0 points, 4 defeats from 4. It's a club being in disarray, isn't it, really? Struggle to get the players and they need. And they would have thought they were almost going to walk away with their first point of the season, and then the referee's given a penalty for a handball, which it probably was. Bannon had scored early on in the game as well. I like Bannon, actually. I think he's quite a good midfielder for them. I think he's a tidy player, Barry Bannon. But yeah, they'd be bitterly disappointed. Disappointed they didn't have. The game was fairly easy, even possession wise as well. But they're just not getting that luck that you need, are they? No. They're not getting that final rub of the green that you need sometimes, and I'm sure it will come. But I think we pretty much all predicted when we were doing our predictions end of last week. We thought that Cardiff would win this one, and they did.
Yeah, I went 2-0 Cardiff. I didn't see Sheffield Wednesday scoring with the start that they've had, but
no, I didn't.
They did get a goal. There's a lot of talk now about Chanziri, the owner. Sheffield Wednesday fans want him out. It's not going good off the field and on the field for Sheffield Wednesday, and it's going to be a long season for them, isn't it? Obviously, Isco, he's trying to change a few things, bring in as many players as he can to help progress this team, but nothing seems to be clicking in the favour of the Yorkshire side, and like I say, another defeat. And yeah, bottom of the championship. And I think as a Sheffield Wednesday fan, you always knew it was going to be a difficult start. It was always going to be a long season, but you'd always have hoped that you'd stay up, wouldn't you, Martin? I think that's always the target when you come up from League One. It's about that stability in the first season to just manage to stay up and then progress the season after. But it's been a real tough stop, Sheffield Wednesday, and another defeat.
Yeah, that change of momentum, isn't it? Like sometimes you can go from like that League One, you're winning games. Like you've seen Ipswich do it. They kind of come up, they've kept that momentum going. Obviously, I know they didn't get the result they would have wanted at the weekend, but still played really, really well. But they broke the manager. The change of manager must have unsettled things. Different style of play. Hasn't been able to get the players in. It's a big week, obviously, with the window closing Fridays. What business can they do between now and Friday? So it'd be interesting to see if they can get some faces in. No doubt he's going to want some faces in there. And I think they're still a little bit thin on the ground, but they're going to need to start winning quickly because, that mentality of continually losing games isn't nice, is it?
No, it's not. You don't want to keep losing and losing, you know what I mean? You need that. Do you know what I mean? It knocks the confidence, doesn't it, Martin, and that belief in the players, in that squad of players. Do you know what I mean? You need them to stick together and fight on together, and that's something they're going to have to do. They're really going to have to dig deep now and hope they can find the points very soon, ASAP probably. The window's going to be closing soon, and Sheffield Wednesday are going to be one of them clubs you'd think would be one of the busiest, Martin, with how things are going at the start of the championship season.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week. I think it's a big week for all clubs, isn't it? If you're trying to bring people in, how difficult is it? Everyone's clumbering around now. I think the manager will be pretty clear on what he needs and what he wants. It's just whether the owners can back him and they can do the business they need. Sometimes you've got to bring in a loan or two and be a bit astute about how you do your business. But they're crying out for some fresh faces there. Maybe just a bit of extra championship experience is quite important at a stage like this, and just some leaders in the dressing room.
I agree, Martin. We're going to go to the CBS, the Coventry Building Society Stadium. Coventry 0, Sunderland 0. Two sides last season who made the playoffs. Coventry, like I said, in their last home game, they beat Middlesbrough prior to this home match. Sunderland, I think they lost to, was it Preston in their last away game? Tony Mowbray, he's got a difficult job on his hands as well, hasn't he? We talk about Sheffield Wednesday, then you look at Sunderland. Sunderland, another side who really played well last season, got the playoffs, doing well, but then this season it hasn't started off the brightest. They got that win before this game against Rotherham, 2-1. You'd have hoped that would give them a bit more confidence. Bellingham's playing well for Sunderland. He'll be a massive key player for them. But then the fans are a bit iffy but on Tony Mowbray, aren't they, Martin? Mowbray will hope he can get them going as quick as possible.
Yeah, no, well, we had a Sunderland fan on last night when we were on TikTok on our live, weren't we? It was interesting hearing it from a Sunderland fan's perspective. he just feels that they've lost a lot of players. They had a lot of loans in last year, and they've lost a lot of key men, haven't they? But like he was saying that they need a striker. He was like said they're crying out for someone to play up front to score goals for them. They're just not scoring enough goals. But there was plenty of chances in this game. I don't know if you saw the highlights from it. I think both goalkeepers played really, really well. The Coventry goalkeeper made some good stops. Is it Ben Wilson? He played really well. It's a good goalkeeper, really good goalkeeper. And Anthony Patterson, the son of the goalkeeper, he's made a big save as well during the game. So you got two goalkeepers. It wasn't like there was no chances in the game. Just no one could find that breakthrough. But yeah, been an interest. Coventry did not maybe got going like they maybe expected that they were going to. They sit mid-table. They're 12th. They're drawn. Well, they're drawn 2 now. Won the 1, lost 1.
Drew with Sunderland now. Drew with Swansea. Beat Middlesbrough, lost to Leicester.
Yeah, I still think they come good, Coventry. I still think they're under a good manager in Mark Robins. We spoke about it on the show last week. He's a good manager. They will start to tick, but obviously it's it's a tough. It'd be a tough place to go and play, Coventry. I think any like when we go there, you go there. They're a club that they're going to give you a hell of a game, like they did against you guys at the King Power on the opening day.
Yeah, they made it very difficult for Leicester. They've had a good window. They're in the Cov. Sunderland, their tails were always going to be up after that win against Rotherham. They were always going to be a game of chances, but it was who was going to take the chances. And like you said, the two goalkeepers were, you could probably say both were man of the matches. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But like you say, it didn't look like a boring 0-0, did it? It looked like a game full of chances where both sides could have nicked it, but it ended up a point for both sides, and that is how it's settled. We now go, Martin, to Huddersfield. A 4-0 defeat to Norwich. Norwich have really rampened up their approach at the start of the season under David Wagner. Scored 4 in their prior away game to Southampton. They got another 4 at the weekend against Huddersfield. They're banging in the goals, aren't they? Norwich, it looks like for fun, Martin, to be fair. They look like they've got an exciting squad who can really cause problems for every team. And it was always going to be a difficult game for Huddersfield Town, a Neil Warnock side who, if the way Neil Warnock sets up, defensively and that, they can attack some quite parts of the game when you least expect it. And I think with Norwich, it was a massive result for them. A good hiding for Huddersfield, you could say. I mean, listening to Neil Warnock's interview after the game, I mean, he didn't really know how to put it into words, did he? He said, they're a squad who have played well in parts of games, who really started well against Norwich City, but then they're leaking goals like that. And then you look at Norwich again, Sargent injured. I mean, how much of a blow will that be, Martin? But what did you make of the Huddersfield Norwich game, mate?
Yeah, I saw the highlights. They've started so well, Norwich, haven't they? What a start to the season they've had.
Second in the Championship.
Yeah, they looked good when I saw them at St Mary's a couple of weeks ago. I thought they fared really well against us. They nearly beat us, to be fair. Sargent, that'd be a big blow for them because he's been playing really, really well for them, scoring goals, and he is an absolute menace, isn't he? But they've done some good business. Ashley Barnes scored his 100th league. It was his 100th league EFL goal. So he's doing the business for him, really. He's experienced. They got good experience in their side, and he's definitely it's their best start to a season I saw since 2002, I think it was, they said on the highlights. So they've had a hell of a start to the season. You'd be delighted if you're a Norwich fan right now, absolutely flying.
Yeah, they are. And credit where it's due for David Wagner. Last season wasn't the greatest of seasons for him, but this season they've seemed to have changed quite a few things over, and then they've really gone full flow with it, haven't they? And they're playing some exciting football. They're really making it, like I say, difficult for teams and picking up them points, which is the main thing. Like I say, when you play Norwich this season, you're going to be always being for a game, Martin, to be fair, and Huddersfield were definitely in for one of them. We next go to Portman Road, a 7-goal thriller. A debut for Joel Perreault, scored on his debut. I think Sinistera scored as well. Willie Nonto scored. 2 players, who got sent to train on their own away from the squad. Nonto and Sinistera. They're now back with that second chance from Daniel Farker. He said, we're not going to give you a third chance. You know what I mean? The third chance is basically out the door. So they've now gave them another lease of life again, Nonto and Sinistera. They've obviously took that opportunity at Portman Road, both getting on the score sheet. Joel Perreault, clinical. You could say clinical, just tapped it home. He is where he should be at that point of the move, and scored a good goal. Ipswich again, very good football. Made it difficult for Leeds. But when I was talking to Alex, he said to get 3 goals against a Leeds side in the way it is, he said that's the positives you take. He said, but a 7-goal thriller, Martin. A proper entertaining game it looked like from when I was rearing it at the New York Stadium. What did you actually make of the game?
No, I saw the highlights a little bit more extended on TV. It was good to watch it. Like Nonto's massive for them, isn't he? Getting him back involved, because it's like another signing, and it's. I always said that I felt that Leeds would bounce back. I know they've not had a great start, but they'll be thereabouts, mate. They'll be right in the mix, and like Ipswich will take a lot of encouragement because they played really, really well. I don't think that they put on a good show, but it's always good for like a striker coming into a club to get a goal early, like for Perreault to come in and like get that early goal. It's just, I know it was a tap and it was an easy goal, but
it's just clinical, isn't it?
Just clinical. You get yourself on the board, you get yourself in business, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Just he's a ready to go striker, isn't he? Like for any club that was gonna do business. Leeds had said they were going to be aggressive in the transfer window, and that's what they've done. They really wanted the boy, and they've gone and got him and done a deal with Swansea. No, Saints and Leicester were looking, but obviously it looks like Leeds were hungry for him, and I think he'd be a massive addition. He'd score a shed load of goals there for them.
Yeah, it's a good way to start off his Leeds career.
The goal for Jorginho, by the way. Oh my word! See the goal, really, really good strike.
Connor Chaplin on the score sheet again, Martin. He's scoring quite a few for Ipswich. That's breeds confidence. Like I say, Ipswich are still scoring goals. They obviously lost for the first time this season. I think he'll pick them straight back up, Kieran McKenna, after this one. They can take a lot of positives out of the game. Obviously, the defeat is the only negative, really. But Leeds, is this where Leeds now start to kick on with their season, do you think, Martin? Picking up that big win. I mean, they haven't had the greatest start to the season. Drawing to West Brom, drawing to Cardiff, losing to Birmingham. Is this where Leeds really can now find that lease of life now and really start climbing the Championship?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They'd be relishing the weekend. Sheffield Wednesday come to LM Road, and they'd be delighted with that one. The side that are really struggling at the moment, letting a lot of goals in, and all of a sudden, it's just that opportunity to really put a good performance in. Last game before the international break, am I right in saying that?
It is.
Well, yeah. So that if you can go into the international break with another victory, which I think they will get the weekend. There's no doubt. I don't think anyone would bet against them getting a win. But the manager's experience in the division, isn't he? He knows how to get a side promoted out of division. I think Leeds have come good. They'd be delighted when the window shuts, I expect, on Friday, just like everybody will be, and everyone can settle their sides down, get back from the international break and kick on. But yeah, Leeds will come good, mate. No doubt about that.
Yeah, it's just about that. Give me a second, Martin. Let me put the charger in. It's just about that stability, isn't it, Martin, when that window shuts? I think these clubs then, like I say, will find that stability in the squads. It'll be, you'll then start to see which players actually wanted to stay at the club, who's actually going to go with the teams this season and give 100%.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want players that want to be at the football club, and if somebody really desperately wants out, you need to think about your business that you're going to do within the next 4 or 5 days. We've not got long now, but I think we'll all be delighted when this window shuts. I've had enough of it already.
Yeah, I agree. Martin, the next one, the Den. A 1-0 win for Millwall over Stoke City. Stoke have played some really fine football, but Millwall nicked it. And, it would come as a surprise for Stoke, to be fair, of how well they've actually started the season. Beating Rotherham, beating Watford as well. Stoke have really done well this season, haven't they? In two of the three. Who else has Stoke played, Martin?
Stoke has started the season fairly well as well, hadn't they? I didn't think I'll get you the fixtures and tell you who they've played, but
I know they played Rotherham and Watford.
Yeah, they started this. They would have been disappointed with that the weekend, but good result for Millwall because the manager was under a bit of pressure. We spoke to a few of their fans, and they were definitely under a bit of pressure. They played Watford, they played Ipswich, they lost to Ipswich. Yeah, and obviously they played Rotherham on the opening day and won 4-1. So
they're starting all right. They are scoring
a bit of a mixed
goals,
bag. But... Yeah, they're scoring goals, but yeah, I think for Millwall for them to get that result was not a very nice place to go and play anyway. But like we said, their manager he was under a bit of pressure from the fan base.
It gives him a bit of sigh of relief, doesn't it, Gary Rowett, after the performance against Norwich City. But like I say,
Nisbet with a goal. Nisbet with a goal. Ex-Hibs striker as well, wasn't he? He's be good for him to start getting some goals from because they're going to need him big time.
They're always going to be a difficult game to Stoke, this one. Millwall, like you say, is never an easy place to go, but now they've got that win under the belt, he'll hope for more to come. Gary Rowett, obviously, I think they'll be a bit more busy again in the transfer window with the upcoming days. They'll need to strengthen the squad. Stoke, I believe they're still looking for players to bolster their squad ahead of the closure of the window. But like you say, a 1-0 win for Millwall, and it, like I say, Nisbet took his goal well. But I just think Stoke, like I say, 2 wins and 2 defeats. So it's been a bit 50-50. It's been a mixed bag, like you say. Martin, next one. Preston 2, Swansea 1. Swansea without Joel Perreault. Preston are really finding their feet, aren't they, Martin, with the start that they've had?
Yeah, they've started really well. Swansea, though, are they going to go out and spend any money and replace Perreault? They're going to need to, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hero, because he was so good from what did he get 18, 19 goals for them last season?
20.
You're going to have to, 20 goals. That's a hard replacement to go out and find a striker like this late in the day. I think anyone losing a striker now to go out and do business is going to be difficult. But great result for. Bored of hearing Jack, mate. Yeah, but I think we're all. Don't know if I know my stuff. Don't know enough championship stuff, but I'm getting a bit. Preston North End, they'll be delighted, mate. A good start for them.
Yep.
Really, really good start. In what's it's a tough division now. They're sit 5th, unbeaten. So
10 points.
Yeah, 10 points on the board.
There's a lot of confidence around that squad, though, aren't there, Martin? I mean, they are proving they can score goals, beating Sunderland, beating Swansea, beating Sheffield Wednesday. Drawing to Bristol City. They're getting points against teams that they should be getting points again, aren't they, Martin? On the board. They're getting them nice and early.
Yeah, they head to Stoke at the weekend, so a bit of a test for them going there as well.
Alex Neil's former side.
Yeah, so it'd be a tough game, wouldn't it? It'd be a tough game for them. So see if Swansea, Stoke bounce back from obviously their defeat at the weekend, and be interesting to see what happens there, Terry.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chippies around Tranmere Rovers' ground. I'm not really sure, Terry, mate. We got recommended it, Terry, from a few Rotherham fans and that. It looked good. It tastes good. £3.70 for the price for what you get. They don't call it one of the best chippies in Rotherham for nothing, Terry. I'll give you that much. But you got quality for your food. Quite a lot of variety on the menu, and like I said to the person, I said, "What's your best selling items?" And she said, "This is this is the best seller." I said, "I love it," and there we are. Finished it, enjoyed it, and then went over to the Rotherham Stadium afterwards. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed the day, Terry, and you enjoyed the review. But yeah, Preston are doing some stuff. They're unbeaten. Swansea, Jerry Yates, he's still scoring the goals, isn't he? He's doing well. He'll be significant for them this season. A big loss for Perot with losing him. But yeah, I think that partnership would have worked well. But for, like I said, Michael Duff, he'll want to get that team winning this weekend coming. So yeah, Preston win 2-1 then. Martin, the next one is Rotherham Leicester.
Well, you're the man for that one.
Here we go. A late winner for the Foxes again. A late winner against Cardiff we've had this season. A late winner against Coventry. A late winner against Rotherham. This one was an absolute difficult game, let's be honest. This one was an absolute tough game. And Rotherham gave it their all, and you have to give them respect and credit. They made it really hard for Leicester. We had to dig deep, defend as a team, and go and win ugly, and we did exactly that. McAteer scored 2 goals in the game. One at the back post for his first one from Iheanacho's assist, but then the second one, what a peach. Straight in on that left foot, top corner, and the away end erupted. Rotherham, like I say, they gave all that energy, but then it just feels like with Maresca, it's like he's using that Man City formula, isn't he, Martin, with what Guardiola's using and what they both used together at Man City last season, where they like to tire teams out and then make them quality changes and make the right changes and then take advantage. And I think that's exactly what Leicester did. Rotherham, like I say, they scored. It could have been cleared, probably by Vestergaard. It could have been a bit more communication. But like I say, they did score. I always thought they'd score in the game. But Leicester are now 4 wins from 4 in the league, 5 unbeaten in all competition. But yeah, we've had a really good start, top of the championship, 12 points. And Maresca's football's between 10 and 20% only starting. We're not even there yet. And we've still got a long season to go. We're taking it game by game, but I just feel Rotherham's probably been one of our difficult opponents so far.
Yeah, no, it's a great result. It's one thing that I'd say about you guys, you're going away and getting the results at difficult places. Now, on paper, it looks like an easy game, but it's not, is it? You know, I know they've not had the greatest start to the season, Rotherham, but it's going to always be a tough place to go. You know, Matty Taylor, he's trying to do what he can, probably on a limited budget. You know, it's a tough ask for any manager having to play a Leicester City side that's been relegated from the Premier League with the players that they have in their squad as well. And like you said, the football you're playing is outstanding. But you must have been delighted with the young lad, McAteer, or pronounce his name. It scored the second goal, looked very good.
It seems with Maresca, Martin, and I'll tell you what it is with Maresca, he's not afraid to upset players. If he feels that he needs to drop somebody for a specific game and then reveal that he needs an approach to bringing a different player for that game, he'll do that. Do you know what I mean? It just makes the squad work even more in training. And do you know what I mean? It gives that squad a bit more second thinking. Do you know what I mean? Thinking, well, maybe this player could be ahead of me this week. Then I'd have to add to my game next week to then be ahead of that person. I think that's what Maresca's doing. Like I say, the football, the passing, the movement, you know, that ball from Callum Doyle, if that was Maldini or bloody Poyle, you'd be raising the roof with it, Martin. But you know, it's you know, you've got to give Doyle that credit where it's due. He's got it in his locker, hasn't he? Proved it at Coventry last season, proved it at Sunderland the season before. He's got that EFL experience, that hunger. He can play out from the back, and it looks like the players are really feeding into what Maresca wants to implement in that. But we're not out of second gear yet. We're still work in progress. And like I say, when this window's ended, and we've got rid of all the dead wood and that, where the players leaving like Castagna and that, and we do bring in one or two more. Then,
Who do you
like
expect
I
to go
say, the
this
squad's
week?
going to be stable.
Who-
Castagna is going to be going to Fulham, which is one. He had his medical today. Christensen's gone to Bologna in the Serie A. There's obviously big talk about Wilfred Ndidi to Nottingham Forest / Bayern Munich. Like I say, Iheanacho, I believe Wolves are having a look at that one. But yeah, there's quite a few players. There's obviously talk about Boubakary Samore with Sevilla and that. There's Patson Daka. Where's he going to be playing this football? Will a team make a bid in the right money that Leicester wants at the end of the next few days? Who knows? I just think it's going to be an interesting one to how much we're going to get for these players as well, because we're going to want to recoup as much money as we can over the next coming days. And like Maresca said, if your mentality is not at Leicester, we want you gone. We only want players here who actually want to be here and want to play football at Leicester City Football Club. So the manager speaks volumes, doesn't it, Martin? You can see how much this manager wants this team to succeed.
Yeah, he's definitely hit the ground running. That's for sure. Jeez, it's hell of a start. Is it your best league start for many years now, isn't it?
It is. It's the first time we've won 4 straight started the season, 4 league games straight in history.
It's unbelievable. Yeah,
it's madness.
It's a club record. I thought it was a club record that I heard the other day. So he's done brilliant at playing good football, very similar to what Russell Martin wants from our lot at Southampton. Play very similar style of football. It takes a little while to adapt to. Jack, do you think Southampton get promoted?
do you want me to answer it? Do you want me to answer
be honest,
it?
Mate. You don't need to. Yeah, just be honest. I know your opinion already.
My prediction for Saints, I think it was playoffs. It was playoffs. I think Saints, they need to click. When Leeds, Leicester and Saints start clicking and the window's shut, you'll see a whole different results. And do you know what I mean? I just think they're all in the same boat at the minute. Obviously, Leeds, you know, they've just got their first win, but Leicester and Saints, you know, both unbeaten. Leicester's obviously won all their games. Saints have obviously drawn one of theirs. But, you know, it's a steady progression. And I think that's what we call it. We both know, me and Martin, that the season's going to be a difficult one. It's not going to be easy. It's easy saying that Leicester are going to walk the league, but it's actually going on and doing it. And that's the purpose of what I'm trying to tell people when they say to me, Jack, Leicester are going to walk the league and this, that, and the other. I say, well, like I say, it's all right saying it. It's going out and doing it. You know what I mean? It's an all different. It's an all different ball game, the Championship. Are you going Tranmere tomorrow, Jack? I am going to Tranmere tomorrow night. Prenton Park awaits me in the Carabao Cup second round. A tricky place, Prenton Park. The pitch ain't great, but yeah, they'll try and make that their advantage, won't they, with a pitch? Tranmere Rovers, you know. Like I say, no game's easy. And yeah, like I say, I expect a tough game at Prenton Park tomorrow night. Martin, we're going to go on to your boys. Talk to me about Southampton. I didn't watch the game, but I heard QPR caused you quite a few problems. The away end erupted when QPR scored. A 2-1 win for Saints. Che Adams, a lot of uncertainty about his future. Russell Martin didn't play him because he didn't feel that he's 100% going. What's happening at Southampton, Martin? And talk to me about the result at the weekend.
God, where do we start? Well, let's talk about the result first. I was pleased to get a result in the end. It was probably the worst we've played all season. I've seen all our games, and we didn't play that well, not really. We got a bad injury to Jack Stevens, who's our captain, our centre back, quite early in the game. He looks like he's going to be out for a lengthy period of time. It's a fairly big blow. Two players come in on Friday night. One of those being Ryan Fraser from Newcastle come in on loan. He come off the bench the weekend, and he made a massive difference when he come off. Mason Holgate come in, but he wasn't involved for the weekend. But no doubt he will be this weekend. They're going to need him because we're a little bit short of centre back. But yeah, we've done well against a physical side, and they're a physical side, QPR. It wasn't easy. We have this terrible tendency to switch off after scoring 2 minutes between Samuel Dozie scoring his goal and QPR and Jack Colback getting theirs. They could have scored literally within about 30 seconds, to be fair.
Square back, 4 centre backs, both slow, defensively worrying. I think. Would you agree with that, Martin?
Talking about Southampton.
Johnny, you're a Southampton fan, mate. Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, struggling a little bit at the back to settle down. Carl Walker-Peters would be pretty important to keep. You wouldn't want to lose him in these final few days of the transfer window. Ryan Manning at left back, he's just settling in. A lot of fans were on his back, not good enough. But we let another left back leave today. Roman Perot, who was a left back who was brought in 2 seasons ago. He's gone out on loan. So Ryan Manning will be our left back. But massive shout out again to Adam Armstrong. Done really, really well. Scored a very good goal. Probably the difference in the two sides in the end was his brilliant strike for that second goal. He took it really, really well, and they saw it out quite comfortably in the end. Southampton after that, really, but fair play to QPR. They will cause size problems, and you can see why Ainsworth believes that, mate. To be fair, but Saints, really, it's a really big week now. What happens in the transfer window? And you spoke about Shay Adams. He didn't include Shay in his squad the weekend, a bit like Maresca. He's not scared to drop people if he doesn't think they're buying into everything that he needs, and he didn't feel he had too many noises in his ears, Adam. So he left him out of the squad. Big call, but we got the result, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, QPR were like the Plymouth, weren't they? Let's be honest. Southampton struggled to break them down. Defensively, Saints, it's a bit worrying for Saints defensively. Still leaking goals. Still thinking, when's that clean sheet coming? But, I think they'll find that format when they find that stability. QPR are always going to be difficult. I think they've improved more since the first game of the season against Watford. They've improved as a squad. They seem to be more together, more glued. And Gareth Ainsworth seems to be quite happier now than he was at the start. He was talking about relegation at the start, about surviving. But now, I think there's quite a few positives he can take out of that game. But I think with Southampton, it were always about when they started clicking in that game and scoring goals. I think Ryan Fraser, like you say, made that difference. Shay Adams, will he be a Saints player or will he not be by the end of the window? Obviously, you've lost Nathan Teller, haven't you, for £20 million to Bayern Leverkusen. Martin, do you see much happening regarding Saints in coming ins and going outs? I mean, where do you see it going over the next few days, mate, and going into deadline day?
I think it's going to be a really busy end of the transfer window for Saints. Russ Martin come out after the game at the weekend in his post-match press conference, and he did say that Fraser wasn't a replacement for Nathan Teller. They will look to bring in another winger. So no doubt a winger comes in. A striker's vital, but where do you get a striker from? A lot of talk of Ross Stewart potentially coming in. Obviously, Holgate's coming at centre-half. They will need another centre-back because Lianco's going out in the next couple of days. He's off to Doha. So there's another centre-back out the door. I believe there'll be a bit more movement. Silamana will probably go to Everton by the looks of things. And it's where Adams goes. Adams won't obviously go to Everton now. Looks like they've done business elsewhere with Beto going there. So where does Adams go? I think he's probably creating noise because he wants to get out, to be quite honest. It was Nathan Teller wanted to leave and they got the money they wanted and they let him go. He didn't want to be there. So it's you need people that want to be at the football club, which is really, really important. So I think it's going to be a busy week. Striker, centre-half and a winger I would expect to come in this week. But I've got to say, Flynn Downs is a very good signing for Saints. On loan from West Ham. Looked really, really good the weekend. Really composed. Bit of a clone of JWP, really. Or Prowse. He does very similar to what Prowse was doing for Saints. Good business.
Yeah, agreed. These players who get relegated with these clubs should be getting the clubs back up, to be honest. But like I say, there's always one report who say that they like to speculate and say players are refusing to play for clubs like Samori. We had a Leicester sort of page come out and say, oh, Samori is refusing to play for Leicester, but that just brings a lot of hate on the player, doesn't it? You know, if that player say he's not liked or people don't rate him, it brings a lot of fuel. It adds fuel to the fire, doesn't it, Martin? You know what I mean? And then when to believe things, you've got to see like a very creditable source come out and say it, that they're not playing in this, that, and the other's happening. But you can't just go and make it up and speculate things that potentially are true or are not true, because it makes one big problem, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it does. You split fans, and and if a player ends up staying,
hate on the player, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then if the player doesn't get the move that he's desiring, and the offer doesn't come in that the football club accept, you've got a problem on your hands.
I agree. Hello, lads. Rotherham gave Leicester a good game, to be fair to the Millers. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Credit to Rotherham. Guys, as always, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to Martin as well. Football Martin _ is the YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to him. It'd help him out massively. He's a friend. So going up a friend. I should be going that way, not that way, Martin. But go and help a friend out, man. Go and subscribe to Martin.
Thank you.
Go and help him out. He does quite a lot of good content. He's a Southampton fan. So if there's any Southampton fans watching or you're a neutral, go and check out Martin. Go and check out his TikTok as well. He did quite a lot of 60-second videos and all that regarding Saints and that. So yeah, he's a good lad. Martin, this one, the next one's Middlesbrough. I mean, what is going on at Middlesbrough? I mean, I believe they've not won a game in, is it the last 8 or 9 games? Yeah, they've not won it. Is that in the league? That's going from the back end of last season. They're not winning. West Brom took a right advantage of that. They've not replaced the loanees of Giles, Archer, Ramsey. You know what I mean? At Pom as well. Where's it going wrong at Middlesbrough, Martin? I mean, they're supposed to be these people who've had them on for playoffs this season. I have as well, but I'm kind of like thinking, what is going on at the Riverside? And where does this Middlesbrough team go? I mean, they've had a real bad start. They've obviously got 1 point out of the first 4 games. They've really struggled. And what's going on, Martin? And what did you think of the result against West Brom?
I watched the highlights, and the one thing that was really noticeable from the highlights is how West Brom had, like, put them under pressure. They really they squeezed quite high, and they really worked hard, like, sort of really closed down like their centre halves and their fullbacks, and really got around them. And
take care, mate.
And to be fair, some of the defending was so soft. I don't know if you saw the 4th goal. Yeah. It was just dreadful defending. Players are backing off, turning backs. Michael Carrick, he's under a bit of pressure at the moment. It's a big test for him as a manager now. Is what business
do you think their heads down, Martin?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he's got a hell of a task to try and turn this round. You know, they're going to bring some loans in this week and do some business this week. They're going to need to. But some of the football that the Baggies played, though, they play some really good football. They've really passed the ball well, keep it on the deck, and it's scored. You know, you scoring goal. They scored the first goal after 22 minutes. A few minutes later, it's 2-0, and I think you're 2-0 down. It's an uphill battle, isn't it? You're away from home at the Hawthorns, and it's a hard place to go and play foottle. Sending off as well for Tommy Smith as well. Not ideal.
Is it true that West Brom have only lost 2 games at the Hawthorns since this manager took over in 2022?
That's unbelievable. If that's true, that statistic. I don't know.
I believe they've won 13 games.
Unbelievable.
That's what I've seen in a stat. It was a EFL stat. One of the Twitter pages put it out. I didn't know if it was true. 13 wins, 2 defeats. I mean, he did take over in 2022, didn't he? West Brom manager.
Yeah, he's doing a good.
I can't pronounce his last name though.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job. It was at Leeds. It was at Leeds, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was at Leeds with Bielsa.
Yeah. So, Carlos is it Corberan?
Yeah,
Corberan?
Carbery, yeah.
Corberan. Yeah, he's done a great
Did
job.
he take over from Steve Bruce?
Yeah, he's 39. Yeah, he's 39. Oh yeah, I think he did, mate. I think he took over from Bruce.
West Brom
yeah,
finished 10th this season. It could be an interesting one for West Brom. But Middlesbrough, they really need players. They need a striker.
Need someone to score goals. Yeah, like anyone,
that confidence is low. It's like when you get one against them, it reminds me a bit of Leicester last season, where if you concede in one, the heads are dropped and then they're on the back foot throughout the whole game after that. But the only
Richard
positive
Bill
is to got 2
was
goals.
in between Steve Bruce, Richard Bill, then he took over from him. So it looks like
in 2022.
Yeah. So October 2022. Yeah, they're settling down. You get a manager that's at a club for a while, settles things down, knows what they want to do, and what a result, mate! What a result!
Absolute madness. Let's have a look. Middlesbrough won't get top 6. Somebody predicted them for top 2. Like I always said, and I said this to you, Martin, with the playoff sides, it's always going to be who starts off the best. And like you say, Coventry have probably been the best side out of the 3. Middlesbrough have been the worst. Chris, how are you, mate? Bring on Southampton away on the Friday night evening, guys. How are you, Chris? Chris is another Leicester channel, if you know Chris Martin.
I don't know, Chris.
Leicester till I die.
Oh yes, I did. I went on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he was on it actually. Yeah, legend. Yeah, looking forward to the Southampton away game, isn't he?
Is last one, Martin, is Watford 0, Blackburn 1. Interesting, wasn't it? Blackburn took the lead in the second half. I went 3-2 in that game. It didn't really look entertaining as much. Chances did come for both sides. Sam Gallagher played well to set the. Was it Hedges scored?
Yeah, Ryan Hedges.
Ryan Hedges scored. Yeah. And yeah, a 1-0 win for Blackburn, and that's the way they needed to respond after that defeat against Hull City and that. But Watford are kind of like in a bit of a pickle at the minute, aren't they? They started off well against QPR, scoring 4 goals. They drew to Plymouth, lost to Stoke, now lost to Blackburn, and they're thinking, what a start we could have had with the confidence after the QPR game, but it looks like they've gone on a little bit of a dip, doesn't it, Martin?
Well, I got my prediction totally wrong for this one. I had 3. I thought Watford at home 3-1. Totally got that wrong. Missed the game. Didn't see the game yesterday. Obviously, only seen the highlights from it. But a great result for Blackburn. A bit of a smash and grab away win for them. But they'll be delighted to walk away with 3 points from there. Not an easy place to go, but like you say, Watford, I just thought they were going to start the season, and really fly that opening day victory against QPR, beating them 4-0 like they did in the fashion they did. They've only got 4 points on the board. Sit 15th in the Sky Bet Championship at this moment in time, and next up for them is a trip away to Coventry, and they travel really badly. The worst records in the league last season for away visit. So you wouldn't fancy him at the weekend, that's for sure.
Bloody hell. It's like a voodoo, isn't it, Martin? You know what I mean? It's a proper voodoo. You know what I mean? If the away form, is not great, they need, if their away form's not great, though, they need to start picking up the points at home. I think that's where it's going to be key for Watford. Blackburn, they've got quite a few points. They won their first game against West Brom. They beat Watford, drew to Rotherham 2-2, and lost to Hull. So they've done all right. 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. I mean, John Dole Tomasin, I think he'd be quite happy with that one. The way things have transpired with the players leaving and that, and his uncertainty of his future. But a big win at the weekend. Watford are going to lose to Coventry on Saturday. I'm saying 2-0 Cov. Haji Wright to scuff Cov. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one in the next predictions
big
as
one,
well.
Big one at the weekend for for Blackburn as well. A real big game for them. They travel to our goal. They head to Home Park, head south. In what we said many a times, Home Park's not going to be an easy place to go. They won't get an easy game against Plymouth. Yeah, I think that's going to be a really tight encounter, that one.
I agree. Martin, thank you for coming on, mate, and being the guest tonight. Really appreciate it. Tell everyone where they can find you, Martin, and what you do regarding all your football content, mate.
Yeah, mostly TikTok at Football Martin. Loads of little bits of content on there. So if you're a Southampton fan, give me a follow. 60-second daily rounds up. Definitely this week with the transfer window closing on Friday. YouTube as well at Football Martin _. And the same again on Instagram. All my handles are the same on everything. Unpopular opinion: Southampton to losing the playoff final at Wembley. God, I hope we don't end up in the playoffs. I really don't. Want to get one auto, but we need a striker that's going to continually score goals along with that, with Adam Armstrong. If we do, we'll be right thereabouts.
Yeah, I'm sure Martin will be joining me on Friday. Probably really late on. Probably some of the shows we will be doing. We will be doing the transfer deadline day. Me and Martin, we will be looking at some of the team's transfers as they come in. Leicester, Southampton. You know, we're gonna do some transfer shows on Friday, so look out for them. Martin, thank you for coming on, mate. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you again soon. That was Martin from Football Martin. Guys, if you've enjoyed the stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already. Please hit the subscribe button. Go check out the match day vlog from the Rotherham game. Also, go and check out all our content. Go and drop it a like, go and drop it a comment, let me know what you think. Go and check out the match review from last night. We did the match review as the Foxes extended their unbeaten start to the season as they beat Rotherham United 2-1. We reviewed it, me and Jason and Nick. So if you're interested, go and check it out. Guys, thank you for 2K subscribers. Do appreciate it. We've just reached over 2K. Thank you to everybody who supports the Final Whistle week in, week out. We do really appreciate all the love and support. You guys getting involved every show. And yeah, we really hope you enjoy all our content. So thank you for getting us to 2K. It's a milestone. So really appreciate it. Let's have a look at the last comments. Leicester versus Hull. King Power Stadium next. We've got Tranmere tomorrow night at Prenton Park, so that's going to be an interesting game. But thank you for watching. Do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the stream, like I say, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. It really helped me out massively. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, take care, and I will see you again in another stream. Keep your eyes out for the match day vlog as the Foxes travel to Tranmere. Come on, Leicester. Hi all. Thank you for watching the Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.